Howdy gang, and welcome back to Pool School. In today's episode, I am going to tell you what I believe, in my opinion and experience, is the best pool pole on the market today. So what do you say we get to it? Alrighty, once again, before we get started, I want to thank you for watching this video. Remind you to like it if you do, subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already, and please share my channel with everyone you know who owns a pool. Also, check out my new membership program where it gives you much more direct access to me and all kinds of wonderful perks to take care of your pool yourself. It is poolschooler.com. Once again, poolschooler.com is going to come across the bottom of the screen right here. And there'll be a link in the description below this video so you can check it out. Alrighty? Okay, so last week I did a video on extending the life of your pool pole, okay? And I promised that I would do a video on what I believe is the best pool on the market today. Now, again, people might argue with this, it might be a differing opinion, and that's okay, but I'm basing this on doing pools for over 20 years and using a lot of different pool poles with a lot of different locking mechanisms. The big thing is not the pole, it's the locking mechanism that's kind of the big thing, and this is the one that I like the best. But last week I did a video on extending the life of your pool pole, and I showed you how to adjust the end of your pole should the holes start to rip through so that you can't put your attachments on it anymore. But the pole that I use was my favorite pole, and I said I'd do a video on it, and so that is what I'm doing today. Okay, so what is the pole that I like best after using poles for 20 plus years? And I've used it a lot, and I've gone back to this one twice. I've only owned 2 of them because that's how long they lasted. So here it is. Alrighty, this is the pole. It is made by a company called Skimlite, all right? And again, I will put a link to their website in the description below this video so you can check out these poles. And again, full disclaimer, I do not receive any money for the sale of these poles on any site at all. I just endorse this product. I recommend this product because it has worked so good for me for so long and has lasted so long, okay? This is the Skimlite elliptilock pool pole, okay? Now, the big thing is this locking mechanism right here, all right? And I'm gonna have to put my phone down to demonstrate it. But this one, again, it's the 3000 series, all right? And it is the service/commercial swimming pole. And they have a series called the 3000 series with the elliptilock locking mechanism, okay? And that's the key for me. This pole is the Elliptilock 3008 heavy duty, the Skimlite Elliptilock 3008 heavy duty swimming pole, 8 to 16 feet. All right, now it's probably a little shorter than that because I've had to cut the end off a couple times to extend the life of the pole because those holes wear out. If you haven't seen that video from last week, I'll put a link in the description below this video so you can check that out too. But I absolutely love this pole compared to other poles that I've used. And again, you can tell this pole has a lot of wear and tear on it. You can see how scuffed off the paint is and everything, but I'm not really concerned about appearance. I'm concerned about effectiveness, durability, and usability. And this one has lasted a long time. The first one I had lasted me about 8 years. And so I'm into my second one, and this one continues to work. Now, obviously you can see the mechanism is a little beat up, and I'll describe how that mechanism works. But this is the pole, and if you're interested in checking them out, I will put a link to skimlite.com below in the description below this video. And when you go to their website, click on to the right, when you go to their homepage, to the right, there will be a tab that you can click on that says service/commercial poles. Click on that link, right? And it'll take you to their page of commercial poles, and then click on the 3000 series, and then you can look up all their poles in that. And then they also have a way that you can find out where to get one if you're a service person, and if not, where to get one if you just want to pay retail. Now, these are not cheap. They go for I've seen them anywhere between $60 and $95 online, but I can tell you this, in my opinion, they're well worth it. So let's talk about this locking mechanism, the pros and cons, and why I prefer it over everything else. Hey gang, before I went any further, I wanted to help you navigate through the Skimlite website. So when you go to skimlite.com, you're going to see this page. Initially, this is their homepage, And if you look in the right-hand corner, I've circled and highlighted in red the link you want to click on. It's service/commercial polls. Click on that and it'll take you to the next page. So that tab brings you to their service/commercial polls, and you want to focus on the 3000 elliptilock series. I highlighted it with a red square. Click on that and it'll take you to the next page. So clicking on that link will bring you to this page, which in my opinion is kind of not a very helpful page, but what it does give you is a description of the elliptilock series, what it does, how it works, and then the models. But the thing I want you to pay attention to is the link at the top that I highlighted in red. That link will take you to the next page where you can find out where to get that pole. So now you are at the where to buy page, but this page is for pool service professionals. So if you look at the bottom left corner where I highlighted with a red rectangle, it says for homeowners who are not able to buy through distribution, please click here for some online options. So click on that click here and it'll tell you some online options where you as a typical homeowner can get that product. Okay, so let's go over this mechanism, because again, this is the heart and soul of pretty much any pool pole. Most locking pool poles or extending pool poles have some type of locking mechanism. Usually it's a friction based where there's a cam inside that tightens down. This one's no different, but this again is one of the reasons I really like this pole, all right? Anytime you have, just note this, anytime you have a friction based locking mechanism on the pole, all right, there are two potential things that can go wrong. Number one, you can over tighten it, right? So this one you twist either to the clockwise or counterclockwise, and then that center position is where the pole will slide. And then you can twist it counterclockwise and it will lock, or clockwise and it will lock. But the two mistakes people make with a pole like this or any type of tension locking system or friction locking system, some have a screw-on cap, all right? Some have an inner cam like this one does, all right? But in some of them, you only can turn one way and they tighten, and the other way to loosen. That gets tricky too. But they either tighten it too tight to where they crank it super hard that you can't loosen it, and then you get all panicky, and then you kind of go, oh, which way did I do it? Okay, so that's one potential problem. The other can be a little bit more dangerous, and that's where they tighten it, but they don't tighten it enough. So then when they use this end of the pole, and this end of the pole is in the pool, and they push really hard on it, this slides. And this happens with not just this type of system. It can happen with any friction style locking mechanism on an extension pool pole. And so what happens is you push really hard, it gives, and you slide down, and you can lose your balance, you can fall in the pool. That can cause injury, or at least it can get you wet. But the other thing is it can cause you to lose your balance, and it's very shocking and a little disturbing when it happens. It's happened to me before. So the key to that is make sure that you tighten it snug enough so that it's not going to slide. And then the other thing is, I know people, and I'm guilty of doing this myself. I sometimes use my pole as I'm going around like water features, and I use this as like a walking stick, put it in the pool, put my weight on it, and then use it to step up. Well, when I'm doing that, I'm not using this for the purpose that it should be used. And any type of friction pole or any pole that extends or shortens can slide in that case when it's bearing your weight, and it can slide, and then you can stumble and fall in the pool, fall somewhere, hurt yourself. The real danger about falling in a pool when you're using a pole is kind of hitting your head. And being out on the pool service route myself, and usually I'm at the houses by myself, there is always the concern that I got to be careful so I don't fall in a pool and hit my head, because if I do that, chances are it's not going to end up well when my unconscious body or lifeless body is found in a pool floating around because I knocked myself out falling in a pool. So a quick side note on that, if I'm ever falling into a pool and I feel like I'm losing my balance, rather than fight the fall, because that's usually when you get hurt, I just go with the fall and jump into the pool. So that way I lessen the risk of hitting my head or hurting myself by fighting the fall, okay? So again, this is the mechanism, and here's how it works. The center position, so you notice how I twist either clockwise or counterclockwise, and that locks the pole. See, I didn't lock it quite enough. I could tighten it a little more, and then it locks it. Well, I just twisted it as I locked it, okay? You twist it, and that locks it, okay? Twist it clockwise, and that locks it too. Twist it to the middle, or right in between, and that's where it becomes easy to slide. That's pretty much how the Elliptilock pole works. Now, again, there are lots of poles. Most poles today have a friction type locking mechanism. Some have a clip, but even that is based on a friction type, kind of like the quick released seat posts for a bicycle, and they have that quick release. That's even based on tension. You have to tighten it, and then you crank it down. It creates enough friction to hold the post in place. Same principle here. But out of all the pool poles that I've ever used and the locking mechanisms I've used, I have found this one to work and last the longest, providing I don't abuse it. I mean, obviously, if you smack it or you smack any other type of locking mechanism on a pole, you can crack the plastic, you can damage it, okay? And honestly, I've never had to replace the inner mechanism, although I believe you can. It's a little bit more involved, but because my poles have lasted me so long, by the time I'm ready to get a new, by the time the mechanism wears out, if it ever has, it hasn't actually done that for any of my 2 poles that I've owned of these Elliptilocks. But by the time I'm ready for a new pole, it's because I have cut the end every time to just be able to adjust it. Watch my last week's video about that, about extending the life of your pole. And again, a link will be in the description below this video. But that, by the time I'm ready to get a new pole, it's because the outer sleeve of my pole has gotten so short, it's not worth repairing. I'll just buy a new one. Now, again, this is not a cheap pole. I've seen them anywhere from $60 to $95 online. I know that according to their website, if you're a typical retail consumer and pool owner, you can get them from In The Swim. I think it's called intheswim.com. Look them up. But that's pretty much my favorite pole. And like I said, for the past 14 years at least, I've been using this pole, and not this particular one, but I've had 2 of them. This is my second one, and they last so long. And this is for a pool service guy whose pole sits in the back of his truck year-round, 24/7, in the sun, in the elements, and it has held up fantastic. So it is a great pole. It's lightweight, it's aluminum, it's not stainless steel, so it's not super, super heavy. And again, I cannot endorse it any more than I do. I really do like the pole, and overall the poles that I've used in my time of doing pools, by far, in my opinion and my experience, it's the best one on the market. So if you're interested in one of these kind of poles, go to skimlite.com. Again, I'll put a link to their website in the description below this video. And like I said, I get no residual, no income, no kickback, nothing for talking about this product. I talk about this product because I have used it and I found it to be the best product for me on the market today, okay? And if you again, you go to their link, follow the site to, remember, service/commercial poles, click on that, and then you can look at the 3000 series, with the Elliptilock, okay? And then you can kind of go through their poles and see which one works best for you. For me, the 8 to 16 foot works best, and I do use the heavy duty pole. The one I had before this was not the heavy duty one. It was the 3000, not the 3008 heavy duty. The 3000 I don't believe is a heavy duty, okay? But both of them work fantastic, and I really, really did find them to be extremely good products, all right? So I hope that made sense. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it helps you decide on maybe finding a good pool pole to service your own pool. As always, if you have any comments or questions, you can post them in the comments section below, or you can email me directly, and my email address is going to come across the bottom of the screen here. It is, as always, kennypoolschool@gmail.com. Once again, kennypoolschool@gmail.com. And always, again, if you send me a comment or email me, it may take me a while to get back to you because I get so many emails now because of the growth of my channel, which I think is great, but it's hard to get back to people. If you want more direct access to me and access to a whole lot of wonderful perks and things that will help you save a ton of money servicing your pool to yourself, check out my membership website called poolschooler.com. And again, there's the address, poolschooler.com. Check it out and see if it might be something that you might want to join to help yourself save some money. So thanks again for watching, reminding you to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, be safe, have fun, and always, always, always watch those kids and elderly folk and pets around water. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.